living the dream.
So
As usual.
As usual, that's right.
So if it's cookies for good special teams, is it goal for penalties, or what's
yeah, I mean, some of those things, the one penalty we had where we had an offsides, we had a guy walked out over a slot, and he just didn't look at the line of scrimmage, and he was probably offsides by about yay much. Then I think we had a block in the back on one of our freshmen. I think what you saw was the materialization of a couple of young guys getting in the game for the first time, and so you get a little bit out of sync with some things. And we had some guys get dinged up through the course of the game. I thought it was a physical ball game, and so in an effort to protect those guys, you're rolling guys through on special teams, and sometimes those guys aren't quite ready for it, and sometimes they are. Some of the guys performed really well, and some of them, learned, oh boy, I better get on my horse a little bit more than what I did. So I think that was a materialization of some of that.
How do you handle the kicker situation throughout the week, trying to figure it out? When do you want to figure it out?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. It is what it is. It's a situation where some of your top kickers go down in early camp, and they're hurt throughout the first part of the season. And it's just like any other position. You've got to get the next man up and ready to go, and see if you can learn to do some things with those guys. And how do you have to adjust your units to be able to accommodate for those guys? It is what it is. There's nothing you can't avoid it. It's part of the game. Injuries are just part of it, and you got to deal with it. And hopefully, we'll be able to overcome some of the issues that we've had with that.
There's a kid who won the tryout. I apologize for not knowing his name. Is he here, or is he in the conversation?
Yeah, he's around. He's
in
around.
the conversation
For sure.
right
Absolutely,
now?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did
he did well today.
Yeah.
I was actually out working with another unit when he was in there doing some kicks, so I have to watch that one on film before I can say explicitly how he did.
How much of a luxury is it just having a snapper, a holder, and kicker, like you did last year, just knowing that
it was going to happen?
Yeah,
it's what you want every snap, obviously. But it's a result of a little bit, to a certain degree, where the roster was and how you have to manage building a roster. And sometimes there's one position group that may or may not get as many scholarships as you would normally carry as you're rebuilding a roster. So there's part of that goes into it for sure. There's part of we got to be able to manage where the classes were. As opposed to when we got here, I think we brought in Barrett came in, and we had one spot for one freshman kicker to come in, and all of a sudden when that guy gets hurt, you have a problem, right? And you have another guy that's gone, so it leaves a little bit of a void. And so as you're rebuilding a roster, you got to make sure you take those things into account, which I thought we tried to do. But again, when you have multiple injuries at one spot, it's just like as if you had a quarterback, your first string quarterback goes down, your second string quarterback goes down. Those are problems, right? It just materialized itself this year in the kicking situation.
With the kicking. The place kicking stuff, has it been as much a rhythm problem sometimes as?
Well, there was the one that got blocked on Saturday. I got to get a clarification from the Big Ten crew. There was something that was done that I got to make sure it was 100% accurate, and the way I saw it is the way that they saw it, to make sure that, because if that is okay, then I got to make sure that we're adopting some of those things as well. That's really more the issue.
What did you see on the kickoffs with Will's kick?
His approach was off.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very consistent. I thought the week before he had a really good approach to the football, and he seemed to be more in rhythm for whatever the reason. It just, it's his first time really kicking off. He's been strictly a punter his whole career, and you'd like to think that you can recruit guys that can do both, but the reality of it is with specialists that they've become more and more specialized, right? So now there's a punter, there's a kickoff guy, and there's a field goal guy, which is generally what a lot of people do, even across the Big Ten. As I went through and I researched who's doing field goals, who's doing punts, who's doing kickoffs. They're typically three different guys. And so what we're doing now is having to cross-train a couple of guys. Sometimes there's consistency issues when that happens. So for us, that's been a little bit of an issue.
Do you think that, whether it's him or one of your other legs, that's a problem that is correctable here in a week to get balls into the end zone?
It takes a little bit of time, to be honest with you. It's not just something that happens. Those guys will go all over the country learning how to do one thing. So it's something that we've gotten better at. I think consistency is, again, going to be the issue, and consistency comes with reps. It's just like if you're shooting a free throw. How do you get good at shooting free throws? By shooting more free throws, right? It's no different. It's an acquired skill that we've got to make sure we learn how to develop.
At a certain point, do you recommend, would you be the one that would recommend going for two instead of kicking a field goal? Or?
Oh, I'm definitely in that conversation every time, yeah. But for us right now, I think what we got to do is just manage where we're at and who's up this week, and figure out where the wind is, what's the game situation, what's the score, how much time is left in the clock. Analytics plays a little bit of a part in it, in terms of where we need to be, in terms of what score, if we can go for 2, if we can go for 1. Is it a 4-down territory now? Is it 3-down territory? If nothing else, it makes it a little bit more unpredictable.
Yeah.
Right? We're a little bit more unpredictable in terms of what are they actually going to do down in the red zone. Are they going to kick it? Are they not going to kick it? Do you have to have the defense out there? What are they doing? All those different situations come up. So hopefully we're making somebody prepare a little bit more.
What's standing out to you about your outside backers?
I think we've, the crazy part is you look at someone like Ace, who's gotten like unbelievable amounts better, how much he's affecting the throw of the quarterback. I don't even know what his stats are in terms of sacks and whatnot, but if you watch the game tape, you'll see that he's actually really affecting the quarterback. And I think other teams are noticing it as well, because there's a couple snaps where he was double teamed, he gets chipped by the running back, he's getting 2 guards on him and a running back. There was one snap I think we got a sack where he actually got triple teamed. And so even though he's not showing up in the stat book as getting a sack, we all know on staff and on the team that he's really affecting the ability of the quarterback to stand there and throw the football.
Did you like, I think it was a 4th down play, Tanner made a pretty nice, Caleb made a nice move.
On the last play?
Yeah.
Yeah, up until the part where he bounced off the quarterback like a piñata. So I did, it was a great up and under move. He had the spin move on. Him and the D tackle had talked pre-snap, which we allowed them to do a little bit. So when he came up and he came under, it was clean as a whistle. It was awesome. And we had set that up throughout the course of the game, so it was really good to see, but now he's just got to learn how to finish it.